Hey, Rideshare Commando here. Once you go black, you don't go back. If I look a little bit tired, it's because I do drive full time, and that's partly what sets me apart from a lot of other drivers. I drive full time, and I earn very well doing so. That's the other thing that sets me apart. But there's one gentleman that stands apart from all the rest. You want to drive Uber Black, right? And Lyft Premier, which, by the way, he doesn't necessarily promote Lyft Premier. I do. Because where Uber Black doesn't give you a ride, boom, Lyft is there. Da, da, da. Lyft is like that one commercial that nobody remembers, but everybody remembers the slogan for. Oh, like a good neighbor, Lyft's always there. So there is a gentleman named Torsken. He is the Rideshare Professor. And when it comes to Uber Black, and I'm going to say Lyft Premier because you should be driving that. He is much more experienced than I am because, like most of you, I drive Uber X and just the standard Lyft. He focuses on the higher end clientele. Now, is this beneficial to you? Well, if you already have a luxury vehicle, Lexus and Audi, something of that nature, then yes, this is horribly beneficial to you, and I highly recommend his channel. Um, but should you get a luxury vehicle on your next trade-up? Well, one, you might not have the credit for it. And if you don't, okay, I'm going to post a video right here in a couple days. I'm going to be linking all of my videos. So follow this link, this imaginary link above my finger, excuse me, and I will tell you some secrets, not really secrets, but things that everybody should know that they don't know because they don't do the research, because America, on how to build your credit very quickly. And when I say very quickly, I mean within a year you can jump 100 to 150 points. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. This isn't, hey, look at this credit program and pay me. No, I'm not doing that. I'm giving this to you for free. This is based on my own personal experience. I've dealt with the credit bureaus before. All right? So if you need to get into a luxury vehicle, is it worth it? Yes. Is it worth it to go through a dealer? No. And here's why. In every state and in every major city, there is a car auction. And guess what? Luxury vehicles tend to stand the test of time better than others. When people buy from that $9,000 Prius that you see on the lot, that was actually bought for about $5,000 to $6,000, max $7,000 at an auction. Now, a lot of auctions require a dealer's license. Guess what? That's 10 to 50 bucks. It's worth it to get. Especially if you're going to be selling your vehicle and whatnot. Some people like to see a license, but you can still sell it as is, where is. I'll get into selling your vehicle in another video too, because I know how to protect you. But when it comes to buying a vehicle, getting a luxury vehicle from an auction is usually a smart bet, and I'll tell you why. One, you can ask the auctioneers, hey, how does this work? How does this look? Does it run? So on and so forth, and they have to disclose certain facts to you. Two, if you pay 50 bucks, which is highly recommended, get the Carfax app and run the Carfax. If it's been a major accident where airbags were deployed, then they have to disclose that. If they have not, then they're wrong. Now, if it has been a major accident, don't buy it. Steer clear. My car has been, but at the same time, even though the airbag was deployed, there was no major structural damage. And it runs beautifully. And I do mean beautifully. So when you go to an auction, I recommend that's where you go for luxury vehicles because people tend to treat those better. And if there's been no airbag deployment, I'd say you're on a pretty safe bet. You might have a few minor repairs, but you can also get a car loan. Just speak to a bank ahead of time and say, hey, run my credit app, and then once you're actually at the auction, call them up and say, hey, okay, you gave me this limit, boom, here's the vehicle I want to get, can I? Yay! And then you just bid on it and go along your merry way. Of course, you have to time things in advance, but that is the cheapest way to get a luxury vehicle. If not, you can go to a dealer. I recommend going to one of the smaller dealers than the larger ones. And the reason being is smaller dealers, they tend to not put so much stake into margins, and they don't have the overhead to where they have to have those margins. So you could talk them down in price. If you can't talk them down at least $1,000, then you're not doing your job right. Anyway, I hope this Uber Black and whatnot, and just the overall tutorial has helped you. Uber Black pays almost twice as much as the standard, and you get better clientele. You almost always get tips with Lyft. I mean, it's a really great, like, Lyft Premier, great service. I love it. So, anyway, be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on my next videos.